you see iconic segments in movies, you know what's next. You remember. It doesn't matter if you saw it 20 years ago, 10 years ago. If it was iconic, you're gonna remember like you saw it the other day.
You were fucking around with your headphones, and I had changed it, and then I canceled the meeting, and I started it over again. It changes. Do you have to change your name every time? It changes my name. It changes my name back every fucking time, and I have to change it.
I hate to see it. And you need that. You need a character to have those kind of qualities. You can't just be like, I'm gonna kill everybody. You know, it's not gonna be realistic. So that's a nice touch.
Welcome to Hate to See It with Mike and Sid, the show where two best friends review a new movie every week. This week we'll also be discussing some industry news, our favorite movie theater snacks, some new movie theater trailers, and then we'll be getting into the review of the week. How are you doing this week, Sid?
I'm doing great. Didn't realize we're best friends, but I'll take it.
I had a feeling you were going to say something about that, and that's why I said it.
Alley hoop.
It's official now.
I'm doing great. I had chicken parm for dinner. I'm pumped for tonight. Looking forward to talking about this episode. Like you said, some huge news happened this week. So
I also had chicken parm today.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So I guess we really are best friends.
Absolutely.
We think alike, eat alike, all good stuff.
Why don't we get right into it? You mentioned that there's some news.
So yeah, huge news this week. Netflix put in a bid to purchase Warner Brothers, which is massive. Everyone in the industry is talking about it. Obviously, it's not finalized yet. A lot has to get done. But I think there's like a $5 billion some sort of fee or something that would happen if it doesn't work out that Warner Brothers will get. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know exactly how that'll work out, but the industry could potentially change, Mike. What are your quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the $5 billion is what Warner Brothers gets, even if no deal is actually reached. So what
million
happened?
Or billion? Sorry,
$5 billion.
Billion.
$5 billion dollars, $5+ billion. So what Netflix won with the bid was exclusive negotiating rights. So they still haven't reached a final deal, but they are now in negotiations, which are expected to end in a deal. But there's a lot that has to happen before this deal is finalized. Paramount, which merged with Skydance earlier this year, which is owned by the Ellisons, Larry Ellison and his son David Ellison, they are very upset about the bidding process. They're claiming that it was unfair, and there have been some rumors that they are going to attempt to undertake a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers, which basically means they don't agree with Warner Brothers to a merger or an acquisition. They just start buying up all their stock on the stock market until they have a majority or at least a plurality to control enough of the votes to make the decisions.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic to see how this plays out. But for me, the big thing is obviously Netflix is about watching content at home. And you and I are trying to save the movie industry. That's a big reason why we have this podcast, right? We're trying to get people in the theaters watching movies. So let's see how this plays out. Hopefully the movie experience only gets better and not worse. But, definitely you and I will be following this pretty closely.
Yeah, I mean, I, for one, am hoping that the deal never comes to fruition. It seems like there's bipartisan opposition to this deal. Both Republicans and Democrats are not fans of it. It's kind of interesting that this is one of the few things that can unite the political parties in this country. So I think Paramount would be a much better partner because they're more of a traditional studio that is invested in the theatrical experience. So yeah, that's what I'm rooting for, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, we can have a whole episode dedicated to this, but we won't. So let's go to our next segment. Let's talk about snacks, which is going to be partnered or sponsored by Little Red Gummy Fish.
When Steve Scalese dives in, it isn't water, it's a sea of little red gummy fish.
Whoa,
Fruity.
chewy, sweet, and totally swim-worthy.
New little red gummy fish. A chewy splash of fruity flavor you can really dive into.
Cool day ever.
Little red gummy.
What are little red gummy fish? Is it kind of like Swedish fish?
It's like a knockoff on Swedish Fish.
Well, if they're sponsoring us, we shouldn't really refer to them as a knockoff, right? It's actually the superior version.
Oh, that's true. Good point, Mike. Fantastic. You're doing a really good job as the co-host of this. Yeah, they're really taking things, Swedish Fish, to the next level. They're American fish. That's the
All
big
right.
thing.
It's exciting that we have our first sponsor.
It sure is.
So
Now,
what snacks did you have this week, Sid?
so this week I did what you did. I sneaked some Mike and Ike to the theater. First time I've snuck in food in a long time, but I had to have it. You've been talking about it the last 2 episodes, so I went for it. I bought several of them. Looking forward to sneaking them in next week as well. But don't tell anybody. Don't mention it in the comments, people.
How'd you like them?
Oh, I love them. I love
It's a
Mike
quality
and Ike's.
candy.
Sure is wonderful candy. And what about yourself?
So Sid, uh, last week you mentioned at your theater, at your AMC, they have red vines, but they don't have Twizzlers.
Yes,
So I was looking on the AMC app, and you know how they let you order snacks ahead of time if you want to?
I sure do. Really good feature.
So I noticed they had an option for both Twizzlers and red vines.
Wow.
So I wanted to do a comparison and see, because I was like, we were talking about red vines last week. We were trashing red vines.
We
But
were.
then it really occurred to me, I can't remember the last time I've had red vines. Like, are we doing them dirty? Like, maybe they're pretty good. So I wanted to do a comparison.
Maybe they'll be a sponsor. Who knows?
Yeah. So I get to AMC, and the interesting thing here, Sid, your AMC only has red vines. Mine only
Yes.
has Twizzlers.
I wish we could trade. That is interesting.
So I did get Twizzlers.
Quality snack.
Twizzlers are phenomenal. I think it's one of the best values at the movie theater because the bag is pretty big. You get a lot of Twizzlers. They take a pretty long time to eat. That's kind of what I'm going for with the movie theater snack. That's one of the good things about popcorn. It takes a good chunk of time to eat the popcorn. Like I love M&Ms. M&Ms are a great candy,
But he finished them quick.
you finish them real quick. Twizzlers, in terms of candy, last pretty long.
You know, you make a valid point, and I was going to bring that up actually. So this month is my birthday, and
Oh, that's
AMC
right.
does a promotion where you get a free large soda and free large popcorn on your birthday month. So I go
They
there,
do.
I tell them I just want a drink, and then they were like, "We'll give you the free drink for your birthday." I'm like, "No, I don't want that free drink right now," and it became a whole ordeal. They figured it out eventually
What did they figure out?
because they kept trying. They couldn't charge me.
Oh,
Right? They kept wanting to give me the free soda, but I wanted to save it because I wanted to
oh,
save
I
it
got you.
when I had popcorn, get them both together, right? Go for the
Mhm.
combo. But now that I think about it, I should just went for this, not take the Mike and Ike, because you and I reviewed and watched a 4 hour plus movie. So the popcorn would have been clutch because it could have lasted a long time.
And you get the free refill too.
Exactly. So I made a mistake there. But let's go into the trailers, Mike.
Okay. A lot of the trailers that I saw like really just didn't interest me. Some of them I had already seen before. Some of them we had discussed already. One just surprised me. I know this is a franchise you liked, and I was actually taken off guard. I was confused. 28 weeks later, Bone Temple. I thought there was just a 28 years later. I
Yes.
thought there was just a movie that just came out. So I was like, why is there another movie? I thought it just came out. What's going on there, Sid?
So I briefly explained it. So this is going to be really neat. So if my math works out, when I started my streak of seeing a movie every week, it started with 28 years later. And
Okay.
then when I reach a 6 month point, it's going to be 28 years later, Bone Temple. So it's the second movie. They filmed it like probably right after another. I'm really pumped, really looking forward to it. It's a different director. I think it's a woman director. So interesting. I'm interested to see where that goes. But honestly, I need this to do well. I need them to make money because they're going to make a third and final movie where the Academy Award winner is going to be more in that movie. I think he's got a cameo in this one, but
You talking about Cillian Murphy?
yes. So he was in the original 28 days later, and
Mhm.
he hasn't been seen since. I think maybe I'm wrong, but he's going to appear apparently in this movie. And if they get enough people going to the theater, they'll make the third one, which he'll have a huge role from what I hear. So I'm looking forward to that.
So these movies were released just 6 months apart?
Exactly, because they filmed it, I think, the same time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be 6 months. So that's really awesome. I'm looking forward for my streak to continue going.
Awesome. I will not be seeing that movie. I can tell you that much.
I know you won't. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the
Really?
genre, but another movie, another trailer that I saw was a movie called Shelter with Jason Statham. I like Jason Statham. I've only seen, well, not only, but I've mainly only seen him in other franchises where he's like a supporting character, like Fast and Furious, The Expendables. I have seen The Italian Job. I remember us watching that during college, actually.
We sure did.
Uh, I haven't seen too many movies where he's the lead. The
Well, you're
trailer,
missing out. He is actually. And
Yeah,
I forget this trailer, but like it seems like every 6 months there's another Jason movie where he's playing like a similar character where it's all action.
he's
There's
got a
a
good gig going. I mean, it
great
seems like he
gig.
does two movies a year, and they all do pretty well at the box office.
Yeah, they're definitely your high octane movies, which it's gonna be really exciting. I keep saying the word exciting. I could come up with a new word. Help me with that. But I'm looking forward to one of my favorite movies. They're making a sequel finally, which is Layer Cake. I love Layer Cake. They're
Oh
making a
yeah,
sequel to it, and apparently Jason Statham's going to be in that movie.
that's the movie that made Daniel Craig famous. Really, what allowed him to get the James Bond
James Bond.
casting.
Yep. There's a scene in that movie where he's got a gun and he kind of looks like James Bond.
So the only reason I really brought up Shelter was because I thought the trailer was pretty entertaining. He's like a former assassin protecting some girl, actually, and he's going after the former assassins that he worked for. Actually, kind of similar to Kill Bill in that regard, which we'll be reviewing. But the movie comes out January 30th, which is a really slow time at the box office. There's not a lot of movies coming out that time. I checked out the release calendar. There's not really anything coming out that week that I think we would want to see. So we might end up reviewing this movie.
Potentially.
Unless you want to review the Melania Trump documentary, which also comes out that week.
Interesting. We'll see.
We'll see. And the other trailer I just wanted to briefly mention was this movie called Greenland 2, some kind of disaster movie with Gerard Butler. And I don't know, it looks like a generic disaster movie. And then it reveals
It's a generic Butler movie in a sense too,
yeah,
right?
and I like him too. He's a good
just
actor.
like Jason Statham. Like they both got good gigs going.
They do. But then the title comes up on the screen and it's Greenland 2. And I'm like, there was a Greenland 1. And this is something I've been noticing recently where now that I've been going to the movies more often, I've been seeing like trailers for movies that are sequels and I never heard of the original. Like last week, there was this movie with Dennis Quaid in it. It was like some Christian rock band. And then the title comes up and it's like a sequel. I was like, there was another one of these movies, and there's been other times that's happened. Have you ever seen that happen?
For sure. Like you said, since I've been going to the movie theaters often, I've been noticing that more frequently. You know what they should do? They should make a movie with the number 2 in the title, but it should not be a sequel, just to throw people off. I think they have an interesting concept.
Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. This is Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2, back to back.
All 4 hours.
4+ hours with a 15-minute intermission. There's a few changes to it. I had never seen this movie, either volume before. You, of course, have seen it.
But it's been quite a while. I think, quite honestly, last time I saw these movies was in college.
So just to let everyone know, we decided, since this movie came out over 20 years ago, this is going to be a spoilery discussion. We're going to get into spoilers. We're not going to do a separate non-spoiler
Keep it all in the same section.
So just let the viewer beware of that. So tell me about your experience with this movie, Sid.
So normally, I don't want to sign up for a 4-hour movie, right?
No.
I mean, even 2.5-hour movies are quite the investment because you got the 30-minute trailers. It becomes like a 3-hour ordeal. So I wasn't necessarily thrilled, but you and I are both Quentin Tarantino fans, right?
Yep.
You've never seen it. I've seen it. It's been quite a long time. But this is how Quentin envisioned the movie when he first created his 2 movies. He wanted them to come out together. He wanted the experience to be one whole movie. But the bastard, the asshole, Harvey Weinstein, which makes sense. He said, no, we got to market this. We can't market a 4-hour movie. We'll do it separately. So that's what happened. But 20 plus years later, after it came out, Quentin finally got his wish. I don't know if he's done this before, like in small, not situations, but in small scenarios, whatever. He's, I think, had them go back to back, very limited. But this time it was more available. I'm really happy they did it.
It was great. I was in a sold-out theater. Everyone was really into the movie. It seemed like it was a mix of people who had seen the movie already and people who are seeing it for the first time, like myself. I did a out-of-theater reaction, which is on our channel, and I said that initially I was not feeling this movie.
It does start slow.
It's not that it was slow. because a lot of Tarantino movies are slow. Like he
Yeah.
really
Okay.
likes,
I'll give you that.
and that's one of the reasons I like Tarantino is he loves his dialogue and he is great at writing it. So
Sure
that was
is.
not my issue with it.
What was the issue then?
And I don't think it's not that I disliked it. It's not at all that I disliked it. It's just that the movie I thought was very gritty, very gruesome, very dreadful, with the exception of the opening scene, the fight scene with the Vivica A. Fox. But even because they're trying to kill each other in her house.
But I feel like not to interrupt you, but I feel like that's when I finally got invested. I think that fight scene was really, it was kind of slow for me. But once that fight scene hit, I was all ready to go.
Well, that was like that was like in the very beginning of the movie.
Wasn't? I'm pretty sure there was a couple scenes maybe before
Well,
that.
yeah, maybe a couple scenes, but that was right at the beginning. But that had a little bit of levity in it where the daughter comes home from school and they stop fighting each other.
Yes.
They kind of have like a truce. So I was like, okay, there's a little bit of that Quentin Tarantino levity that I like in his movies, where it's really the juxtaposition of the brutal violence and then some more comedic elements, over the top elements. So that was like, okay, this feels like a Tarantino movie. But then it ends with the bride killing Vivica A. Fox and the daughter coming into the room, like seeing her mother dead on the ground. So I was like, oh, this is brutal.
Very brutal.
And then we get a little bit later,
The hospital scene?
the hospital scene. She gets out of her coma, and these two creeps come in, and she pretends to go back into her coma, and one of them is paying to assault her. We're not
Yes.
going to say the R word because YouTube does not like that word. We will
Well,
be
thank you for
banned.
not
We will
doing
get
it.
shadow banned from YouTube. So don't say that word.
I won't.
So he pays to assault her, and she brutally kills the guy, bites his lip, and
I
it
mean,
was just
but that
it
was
was
like a
savage.
yeah,
It
it
was
was.
savage.
But that's something that Quentin Tarantino would do in his movies, right?
He
It was like
does,
a
he does, he does. And then the other guy comes back and she's like on the ground. She can't walk because she's been in a coma for 4 years. She cuts like I thought she was gonna cut some major artery in his leg and he was gonna bleed out on the floor. Maybe she did, but then she starts bashing his head in. I was like, okay, the movie is brutally violent and it doesn't at this point have the levity and the over the topness that a lot of Tarantino movies have. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh my God, if this
because you
is
don't
what
like
it's
violence.
well, I do. It's not. I'm not anti-violence, but it's just there's so much dread and seriousness at this point, and I'm thinking if this is what it's going to be like for 4 hours, I don't know if I can get through this.
So what brought you back in?
Well, I'll tell you what didn't bring me back in was Uma Thurman's performance. I think she is weak sauce in this movie. I think
What?
she's a weak sister.
What are you talking
I
about?
wouldn't even call it a bad acting performance. I think it's a non-entity performance. I think she's one of the worst actresses in SAG. Uh, Another
I
actor I
see.
don't really like is Owen Wilson, Matthew
I see what you're
Lillard.
doing there.
She's just terrible. No, she's very good in this. I was making a reference to Quentin Tarantino trashing Paul Dano randomly,
My friend's cousin,
your
my
friend's
best friend's
cousin,
cousin.
and he also trashed Owen Wilson and Matthew Lillard. But no, Uma Thurman is great in this movie.
But so you haven't seen Stranger Things?
I've started to watch Stranger Things. I have.
Okay, but her daughter's not in there yet. But her
Maya
daughter's
Hawke, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because I just watched the newest season of Stranger Things, and I felt like I was watching Maya, because it's obviously a younger Uma
Mhm.
Thurman. So there's a strong resemblance between the
They
two.
look alike, I guess.
Yes.
So what brought me in back into it was actually not the animated sequence, which I thought was too long. I wasn't really
Which they
into that.
extended. It
They
wasn't as
extended it.
yes, they
Yeah.
extended. That's one of the big changes in the film.
Are you a fan of that part of the movie?
It's a good question, Mike. The style of anime, I'm not. Um, I enjoyed the scene, like you said, it was a little long and drawn out, but that's not the type of anime I traditionally like.
Which part of it was extended? Because there's this whole part where her parents get murdered.
Yep.
This is one of the Viper assassins that Uma Thurman used to work for.
Correct.
and then
So it's her
they
backstory.
it's her backstory.
Yeah, I think they extended it by adding the more assassinations she did throughout that whole thing.
Okay.
What's the actress who plays her?
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. Yeah, they extended her assassinations.
Yeah, I think I would have rather it been all live action. I thought it was too long.
Yeah, it was long. Yeah, we both agree on that.
So what really got me back into it was shortly after that, where she flies to Okinawa and meets this guy who she wants him to make a samurai sword for her.
Yes.
And that's when I started like feeling, oh, this is a Tarantino movie. We're starting to get a little bit of that levity, that witty dialogue.
Hmm.
And that's when I started really enjoying the movie. And from there, it was just I loved everything.
Yeah. No. Same here.
And so she has him uh, make her a sword. She has to convince him to come out of retirement because he swore a blood oath that he would never make samurai swords anymore because they kill people.
Yep.
But she has uh, a vendetta that she has to carry out. She has to kill Bill because Bill had his Viper assassins kill her groom to be and all of her friends at a chapel in El Paso, Texas.
Truly hate to see it.
You truly hate to see it.
Not the type of wedding you want to attend, unless you're a sick bastard.
So
I don't want. So let's not focus too much on the plot, but just talk about this experience, Mike.
yeah, so I'll tell you, the experience did not feel like a 4+ hour movie because the movie just, even though there are slow parts in the movie, it's just so engrossing that I was captivated the entire time, and it felt like a seamless story. I could certainly see why Tarantino wanted it to be one movie. It felt like a seamless story. That what I will say is Volume 1 and Volume 2 are tonally different,
Yes, they are correct.
but they
First one
work
is
well
definitely-
together.
Yeah, no, they work well together. First one's definitely has more action,
More action, yeah.
more character development, more in the second one. But one thing I want to talk about, like, because people will ask, like, what's different between the original movies and this, this whole bloody affair? So one thing was and this is truly an iconic scene in movie history, in my opinion. Like when I think of Kill Bill, I think about that crazy 88 fight
Yes.
in the
And
restaurant.
and I was aware of it just, from pop culture.
Like I said, it's iconic. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that scene, and whenever we graduated from college, it's been quite a while. But like I knew what to expect. It's like it happens a lot of times when you see iconic segments in movies. You know what's next. You remember. It doesn't matter if you saw it 20 years ago, 10 years ago. If it was iconic, you're gonna remember like you saw it the other day. But the big change was when we started this podcast today, in the beginning, you saw like an NC-17 image that we added because originally they changed that scene. They made it more black and white when the crazy 88 fight happens. But with this new rear release, it wasn't black and white because originally they were trying to avoid the NCAA 17 rating. So that's why there was some black and white. But yeah, we got to see the full color action, nonstop action.
Yeah, what's funny about that is the violence in that scene. It's gruesome. It's brutal, but it's so over the top
It is over the top.
that for me, like that's not what would make it NC-17. I'm more thinking like the scene that I mentioned earlier where she bites the guy's lip. That's brutal violence. Or later on in the movie where she rips out somebody's eye. That's brutal violence.
Yes.
That's what would push it beyond R for me, not the Crazy 88's fight. But I guess they have kind of strict certain lines that cannot be crossed when they're rating these movies. It's very arbitrary.
It is, to be quite honest.
So that scene was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
One of the things that stood out to me, and Tarantino is always so great with this, is his choice of music. And he has in this Blue Leaf, what is it called? Blue Leaf Tavern or something like that. There's this Japanese garage rock band playing.
Mhm.
They're called
Like a
the
cover band, no?
Well, they were covering one song, but I don't know if they're just a cover band. They're called the 5, 6, 7, 8s. One of the songs I recognize from a Vonage commercial. Do you remember the song Woohoo?
Yes, I sure do.
I was like, that's the song from that phone commercial. I never knew it was in this movie.
Yeah, like you said, Quentin does a good job of
It went great with the action, though.
it. Did. So now the first movie's done. We had our intermission.
Well, we got to talk a little bit about.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, the fight with Lucy Liu outside in the snow after that,
Oh,
after
yeah,
she
that's
takes care.
also iconic. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the snow. Finally, after she takes out like all these 88 people, you think it's gonna be a very difficult fight. But Uma comes through. I forget what her character is. She was the bride, but what was her name?
Orin Ishii, I believe.
Wait, That's Uma's name?
Uma's name is Beatrix.
Oh, yes. Why were they blanking it out earlier in the movie?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that myself, and I think Quentin Tarantino just wanted it to be kind of a secret so that there could be a reveal for it. And
Okay.
I imagine that probably worked better with when it was split up into two movies, because when you're watching it as one movie, you don't have to wait that long to find out her name. But if you're watching, you would have had to wait like 6 months.
Yeah, I
But
forget
yeah, I'm
how
not really
far
sure
apart
why
the
he
movies
did
are.
that. I mean, a lot of what he does is it's just stylistic choices.
Yeah,
He just has a great sense of style.
and he probably gets a kick out of things like that.
Yeah.
We have reached an intermission.
Please visit our stands.
To buy more snacks and drinks.
So we have the intermission, 15-minute intermission. What was going on in your theater during this intermission? Anything notable?
I think I texted you. All of a sudden, this guy starts yelling at another person. It's like, you attacked my dog. And I'm thinking, like, where the hell's a dog? I don't even see a dog. But he starts yelling at this person. It's like, you attacked my dog. I'm going to call the FBI. I'm going to call the CIA. He just basically lists or names like all these different agencies. And then it was just so bizarre. They finally got rid of him. Everyone started clapping and cheering. Luckily, the FBI and the CIA didn't show up. I think even said ICE, but yeah, it was really bizarre. But after that, I just checked my phone. Went on Twitter a little bit. I should have gotten another snack, but it was pretty late. But I did not. What about you? What went down in your theater?
I think most people like just got up, stretched their legs, went to the bathroom, and that was pretty much it. There was some chatter, people were on their phones, but nothing really notable. It was nice to have a little bit of a break.
Have you ever had an intermission during a movie?
The only time I could think of an intermission was like at a Star Wars marathon. Like before I saw Force Awakens, I saw Star Wars marathon, so I believe there was a little bit of intermission between each movie. That's about it.
Okay, yeah, for me it was my first time. I mean, I've obviously witnessed it during Broadway showings when I live in New York. I used to go to a ton. But yeah, no, that was my first intermission at AMC as an A-lister. So now we got the second movie, Mike.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts on that. Well, you mentioned there was little differences between the first one and the second one. What really stood out for you with that?
So a lot less action, although there's some really good action.
Yep.
We get all the backstory, all the questions we had from the first movie are answered. We learn what went down at the chapel. We learn all of the bride's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
I still had a lot of questions. I wasn't quite sure what was her relationship with Bill, and we learned that they had a romantic relationship, and that he was actually the father of her child.
But they revealed that in the beginning of the movie. Right before he shoots her, right? He's like, "It's yours" or something.
What does he say?
Uma Thurman says like, "I'm pregnant with your baby" or something like that.
Oh, does she?
I think I'm pretty confident.
Okay, I probably just didn't appreciate it at the time because yeah. All right. And apparently at the end of volume 1, when it was originally released, they show that the baby is still alive.
Yes.
And they take that out. He takes it out of the whole bloody affair. Because I guess they tease something I guess they wanted to tease something to get people to come to the next
Correct. They
movie.
needed a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And honestly, I bet that was Harvey Weinstein who's like, you got to get a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so we don't find out about that until the very end of the movie, although I suspected it the whole time.
But it works out better, quite honestly, because I've seen the originals, right? So in my opinion, great. It was great the way they did it for the whole bloody affair.
So she has the bride has two more of the assassins to take care of in part two. Michael Madsen's character, who's
Rest in peace.
working at a strip club as a bouncer, living in a trailer, and she goes to the trailer and he shoots her with like a shotgun filled with rock salt or something like that.
And that kind of surprised me. Like, she's been through the ringer, right?
Yeah.
Through this whole time. I didn't think she was gonna get caught like that.
No, I was surprised too. And then in possibly the most disturbing scene in the entire movie, he buries her alive.
Yes.
And she's in a coffin. And then they have this flashback
to show how she's gonna escape.
Well, yeah, and they show her training in China, and this kung fu master is teaching her how to
like
punch through wood from only 3 inches away.
Yep.
And I have to say, as this whole sequence is great part of the movie, great backstory. I put 2 and 2 together after the training, and then they cut back to her in the coffin. I was like, oh, now I know what's going to happen. Now I know how she's going to escape. That was great.
It was great execution.
So she escapes, and then they show in the trailer, Michael Madsen, I think his name is Bud. He's going to sell the bride's sword to another one of the assassins played by Daryl Hannah. She shows up.
She tricks him, right?
She tricks him. He's
gets with the Black Mamba.
I thought, he's looking through the briefcase with $1 million in it that she's going to pay him for this sword. I thought she was just going to cut his head off because she has a sword in her hands. That's what I was expecting to happen. And then this Black Mamba comes out and bites him, and it's a lethal bite. And that was the bride's code name, right?
It was,
Black Mamba.
It was Black
so
Mamba,
she did that to make it look like the bride was responsible.
Yes.
Because Bud, Michael Madsen, is actually the brother of Bill. So she knew that, she couldn't just murder him and get away with it. She had to make it look like the bride did it.
Yeah, she's been trying to kill the bride from the first movie. Quentin Tarantino, not Quentin Tarantino. Bill had to talk her down, don't kill her.
Yeah, and then she goes back. Uma Thurman goes back to the trailer, and this is probably the second best fight in the movie with Daryl Hannah in the trailer. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I did for sure. I mean, because you didn't know how. I mean, I knew, but you probably had no clue how that fight was going to end, right? Or you probably suspect a few things.
I didn't even know what happened because something happens to Uma Thurman, does something to her eye. And earlier in the movie, when she's being buried alive, Michael Madsen is like, I'm going to spray mace in your eye and blind you, or I can give you a flashlight if you behave. So I was like, did she spray mace in her eye? I wasn't sure what happened. But then she shows the eye to the screen and stomps on it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, she doesn't end up killing. She doesn't end up killing her, but I don't think you need to kill someone if you blind them.
Did you see in the credits where they were showing all the characters and then their names were crossed off? But her character in the credits, there's a question mark after her name, so we don't know what happened to her. But that was crazy.
Yeah, no, especially because it was in confined space, right? But yeah, that was actually one of my favorite sequences throughout both movies.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then skipping ahead a little bit, she finally tracks down Bill, finds out that her daughter is alive. Bill does the classic villain monologue. He administers some kind of truth serum to Uma Thurman, and he does
you're watching a James Bond movie.
Yeah, but the speech was really good, where he's talking about Superman and how.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That's great. Where
one
how
of my favorite words.
Clark Kent is really the alter ego, and Superman is the real person, and he says that's what makes Superman unique, which is interesting. I don't know if he's quite right about that because I think Batman is also similar in that regard because I think of Batman as the real character, and Bruce Wayne is also kind of a facade because
True.
he's portraying himself as this like billionaire playboy, and that's not really what his personality is like. But in any event, that was a great speech that he gives. And we see the final confrontation, which I was suspecting that this would happen because David Carradine, I was thinking,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, probably was not up for a big sword fight at this stage in his life. So I didn't think it was going to be an extended fight. And I knew, well, I suspected that technique that was mentioned earlier in the movie, the exploding heart fist punch or whatever it's called.
Mhm.
I suspected that's what was going to be Bill's demise, and indeed it was.
It sure was. Now, Quentin does a lot of building
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Thanks for saving me some time.
Yeah, so that was awesome. And then,
But
you know,
once I want to talk about one scene. Like one scene I really enjoyed was when she found out she's pregnant. Because usually,
oh yeah,
that's a scene that happens in so many TV shows, so many movies where they check, they test to see if they're pregnant or not. But I really love that fight between the assassin that was trying to kill her, and Uma Thurman's telling the assassin like, "I'm pregnant. I just found out." Like, but they can't take their eyes off each other, so it's like a standoff, and she has to go find the pregnancy test. I thought the execution of that was pretty hysterical and pretty brilliant.
yeah, I thought that she was going to kill that woman. I didn't think she was going to let her go alive.
Yeah, because they were trying to. That's what they wanted you to think, but
Yeah.
she showed some compassion because the assassin showed her compassion.
Yeah, there's actually a few points in the movie where she shows compassion.
Yeah.
She shows compassion to that young kid in Yakuza
Mhm.
During the Crazy 88 fight. She lets him live twice.
Yeah.
And she actually offers mercy to that crazy Japanese girl in the schoolgirl outfit and says like, just go out. We don't have to do this. But
And you need that. You need a character to have those kind of qualities. It can't just be like, I'm gonna kill everybody. It's just not gonna be realistic. So
yeah,
that's a nice touch, especially
Yeah.
with the hero, right? Your hero needs to demonstrate some compassion.
yeah, they definitely flesh out her character over the course of the 4 hour plus movie, make her really three-dimensional. At the beginning, she's really just this cold-blooded assassin, but we really along
Root
as
for
we
her.
go on the journey with her. What?
We root for her.
Yeah, we root for her, absolutely, and it's very satisfying when she gets her revenge at the end.
So
She
Quentin,
gets to be with her daughter.
I'm trying to think. Has Quentin had a lead character that's a woman? Is this the first time?
Well, one of the other movies I have not seen by him is Jackie Brown,
That's
and
a female lead.
I think it is. Yeah,
Interesting. So you haven't seen either of the movies that have a woman lead.
and I haven't seen Death Proof either. And those are the only ones I haven't
I think
seen.
Death Proof is a woman lead as well.
Is that true?
I think
Okay,
might
I
be
thought it was
sexist.
Bruce Willis. No,
maybe it's like it could be two characters. I
All
could be
right.
wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah. So, why don't we get to our verdict, Sid?
Okay, you first.
Truly love to see it. Like,
Nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing it again. This is going up there with one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite Tarantino movies.
I'm
I'm
proud of
glad
you.
I saw it this way for the first time because I feel like this is the authentic way to see it.
is.
This is how the director intended. Yeah.
And a lot of us in our group chat, we weren't sure if you would like this movie, quite honestly. But you kept like referencing that you're a huge Tarantino fan, so there was the hope of that. I wonder if you saw the original in college whenever it came out, if you would have liked it. But I think you really liked it even more because of the way this was formatted, having both movies.
Well, I wasn't introduced to Tarantino until college. I saw Reservoir Dogs in college. That was the first Tarantino movie. That was his first movie. So yeah, I might not have liked it.
And I agree with you, Mike. I think this is the first time that we both have a truly love to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a lot, but it's not. This is not rare to have like a marathon at a theater. But if you're going to spend 4 hours, this is the movie you want to see. These are the two movies you want to see. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad you did it. So definitely check this movie out. The fact that both you and I said we truly love to see it. I mean, our first movie that we both agree on and we both gave truly love to see it speaks volume. I hope people see this movie, especially if you haven't seen it. The 4 hours go quick. It's a wonderful experience. It's how Quentin wanted it. So go see it, folks.
Yeah, if you love Tarantino, you love martial arts films, you like nonlinear storytelling, you like really well-written dialogue, you're gonna love this movie. We both truly love to see Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Go see it in theaters. Sid, there was one other thing I wanted to briefly mention. I said in my out of theater reaction that the movie reminded me of a video game series that we both love. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not. Enlighten me.
Do you have a guess?
I don't have a guess.
All right, so
You got me stumped.
I was referring to Metal Gear Solid. Let me tell you why.
Yeah, expand on that, please.
So, both games, or both the game and the movie, have characters with snake names. You have Solid Snake and Liquid Snake, Venom Snake, Solidus Snake. Metal Gear, in each of the games, but particularly in Metal Gear Solid 3, the main character is going up against a crew of elite villains. He's got to take them down one by one. They all have very interesting backstories.
And code names.
Very eclectic backstories and code names. And specifically in Metal Gear Solid 3, he's going up against the Cobra Unit. And in Kill Bill, we have the Viper Assassination Squad, and they all have snake-themed code names. So that really stood out to me.
And what stood out to me is that 2 weeks in a row now that you've concluded our podcast episode talking about a video game.
Well, we both love video games as well as movies. So when it makes sense to talk about both,
why not?
Why not?
But back to your out of theater reaction. So I was watching the UFC pay-per-view, last pay-per-view before it goes to Paramount, which I'm pumped about. I was at my friend's house for watching, and I was really curious to see if you enjoyed the movie or not. So I had to quietly pick up my phone, put it by my ear so I can hear your reaction.
Oh, that's how you heard it?
Yeah, and once I heard it, I was like, yes, he liked it. I can't wait to discuss it with him.
You were not sure, I guess, right?
Yeah, I had no clue what to expect.
Yeah. It was
and you truly love to see it.
Truly love to see it. It was awesome.
Again, I say this every damn week. You need an A-list, not just you, but everyone. Because you're going to go witness things. You're going to watch movies that you may not necessarily see.
So, Sid, I have currently, as I've mentioned on prior episodes, I have AMC Stubbs Premiere, which is the tier right below A-list. My subscription to it runs out on January 1st, 2026. So I think once it runs out is when I'm going to sign up for A-list.
You got to sign up for it. And by the way, your name still says your real first and last name. You got to change that for next episode. You got to be consistent.
Well, just a little inside baseball here for people following at home. Sid, we had to record this in 2 segments because Zoom.
But before it was the same thing too.
It should not have been. I changed it.
Go back and look.
Oh, because you were fucking around with your headphones, and I had changed it, and then I canceled the meeting, and I started it over again. It changes. Do you have to change your name every time? It changes my name. It changes my name back every fucking time, and I have to change it.
You hate to see it.
I did it the first time, and it didn't even use it. Oh, pisses me off so much.
Well, maybe you can somehow edit it.
No, I'm not.
Use some AI.
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Well, you and I will be better next week. But this was a fun episode. Episode 4, 3, 4. I don't remember.
This is episode 4 since we've returned.
And then what are we watching next week? Let's give the folks a little preview.
So you have already seen the movie Wake Up Dead Man, the 3rd movie in the Knives Out franchise by Rian Johnson. I didn't have it playing near me in theaters because we were talking about this at the beginning with Netflix.
Yep.
They don't really like to do wide theatrical releases.
They don't.
That's why a lot of us are concerned about this acquisition of Warner Brothers, because we like to see our movies in theaters. We think that's the best way to experience movies. So I'm going to have to watch this at home on Netflix when it comes out on Friday, and then we'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. Looking forward to hearing your reaction. And
Well,
talking
you
about
just
it.
spoiled it for me, Sid. I don't want to know that you enjoyed it.
Well, you told me you enjoyed it in your out of theater reaction.
Yeah, but I
the
always
same
do an
thing.
out of theater reaction.
It's
I want
the
you to
same
do
thing, though.
I want you to do the out of theater reactions. You refuse to do them.
I'm too good for
I
it.
want us to each post one every week, and
We'll
you
see
just
how
won't
it goes.
do it.
Listen, you're doing a really good job with it. Maybe one day I'll join you.
Yeah,
Let's
maybe.
do this. When you get a list, I'll start joining you.
All right, I guess we're gonna be doing that next year then.
Alrighty.
All right, everybody.
Take it easy.
Thanks for tuning in. Definitely check out Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair, and we'll see you next time.